Hi there. Hi there. My name is Moon, and I'm a twin flame channel and Western astrologer. And this is a video about the new moon in Libra 2020, happening on October 16th, 2020 at 3:31 p.m. If you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States, please check your local time zone, check a time zone converter for your local time. This video is for twin flames, divine connections, and divine counterparts on this topic. This new moon in Libra is part of a very sacred passageway of the divine feminine's travel through the sign of Scorpio. This is a very significant period of time for all twins and divine connections, and I'll explain why momentarily. But it is a time of transformation, of growth, of change, of releasing, of purging, of confronting fears, of releasing sorrows and hurts. And it is very important to utilize this time to be able to do so, so that when both of the divine counterparts pop into their new signs after 11 and 12-month stays in the signs that they're in, we are in a new energy and we're not bringing the energy of the past with us. Here's the new moon at 23 degrees Libra, the sign of partnership, balance, fairness, justice, equity, and equality. And this new moon is conjunct the creation goddess. And here's the creation goddess, Haumea. Because they are sitting so closely together, this new moons herald new beginnings. Creation goddess creates new things. This is an opportunity for deep manifestation of a new beginning in your connection with your counterpart and in your connection to divine love. Whatever form, whatever human that happens to manifest through. This particular new moon is opposite the planet of Mars. There's Mars there at 20 degrees Aries. And Mars is conjunct Eris. And Mars and Eris conjunct have a way, especially because Mars is retrograde, so is Eris at this time. Because the two of them are sitting together, they have a way of bringing forward the shadow energies of one another. They're bringing forward the energy of places where we feel like what we want in relationships, we never get what we desire, what we've been trying to create in the past. Somehow, some way, some things just never work out. And it can totally cultivate a resentment energy. It can cultivate an anger energy. And it can totally cultivate mistrust energy, but it doesn't have to. Because what these two are doing is trying to help us understand where things have not worked out in the past because of the way we ourselves have shown up. It's an opportunity to self examine, self reflect, and self refine so that we can move into a different energy and a different story because we ourselves have become different people. And this is both for divine masculine and divine feminine. We've also got this particular new moon being square to Saturn and Pluto here, and really to the whole lineup here inside the sign of Capricorn. That includes Jupiter as well as our friend here, Pallas. Mostly it's Pluto and Saturn in the tight square, the tight 90-degree angle. This new moon squaring Capricorn, being opposite Mars, creates a bit of a T-square energy. And we'll talk about that more in a moment. But what's going on here is there's a discrepancy between what we think is fair and just and balanced and what has been manifesting in the sign of the 3D structure of our lives. That's Capricorn. What we want and what we've got are looking like two very different things. They're not fully lining up. And this Mars Eris energy can have us start to wallow in some of our lower vibrational frequencies around that. Well, I'm not calling them back because they always make me wait. That kind of energy. This is an important passageway to look very deeply at the structure of our relationships in our lives so that we can get a new relationship going in the future by leaning into what's not working right now. Okay, so Divine Feminine, you lead the way here. The reason why is because you are conjunct Mercury in the sign of transformation and you've already changed signs. Divine Feminine was an 11-month stay in this sign of Libra. Insights about herself and her partnerships all throughout that 11 months were coming forward. Now she's in the sign of transformation, the sign of alchemy, the sign of growth, power, but also the sign of confronting our fears, Scorpio. Because Mercury is retrograde right on top of her for the next 3 weeks, this is going to bring forward insight about what must change in the feminine energy in order to anchor union energies. So all of us have masculine, all of us has feminine, but it's inside of your feminine energy that you want to look, okay, what has to shift here in order to bring forward union energies? And that doesn't have to be union with a counterpart. It could be deeper union with self. It can be union with love, that kind of thing. There is divine wisdom during this passageway for her as she opposes Venus during this period of time, or not Venus, Uranus. The opposition to Uranus, Uranus can represent the divine consort. He was the divine consort of Gaia. It can also represent divine insight and stroke of insight and awareness and genius. This is providing directly from the divine to the divine feminine a reorganization cellularly in the body. That's the sign Taurus is, and emotionally in the heart space. That's where we're at with scorpionic energy. It's that emotional transformation and change. This is a period of time to move into acknowledgement of the things that uh, may have unconsciously been wounds there that we expressed or operated from. We had a wound, and so we were trying to just deal with the wound and we reacted from the wounded space. This is a period of time to acknowledge those wounds and those reactions that perhaps undermined or inhibited union energies and love energies within ourself, within our world, and within our connections. The big thing here is to not resist the insights because Uranus is bringing them. Don't resist them. They are intentionally coming forward at this time for a reason. It's important to not look away from the pain, not to push it down. It's important not to, it's important to acknowledge the fear rather than pretend it's not there. It's important to acknowledge the grief and make space for the grieving. The wounds are real. Look at them. Make space for them. They are begging for your attention. There is a very sacred mirror here for the divine feminine within her connection and within herself that's helping her cultivate union with self and anchoring self love, self value, and self worth. That's where Uranus sits in the sign of self love, self worth, and self value, Taurus. There's an opportunity here to cultivate that within yourself by cultivating the heart to be with your own fears, be with your own wounds, be with your tears, your scars, your growth, your changes, be with all of it exactly as it is. How it's really important to understand that it's kind of impossible to be with the counterparts' flaws and wounds and all their issues and all their reactivity and be in union with them if we can't be in union with those darker, deeper parts of ourselves. How can we offer them what we didn't cultivate already to give to who we ourselves are? By using the sacred passageway to heal and accept and honor your whole self. The divine feminine cultivates the heart that's capable of a deeper union energy and a union that can unfold at a more all encompassing level of love. So, as I mentioned earlier this year in the 2020 Union Energy Updates, 2020 was a pre union energy year. We move into a union energy year in 2021. If you would like to look at those updates, they're linked below this video. And if you'd like to have a look at how this plays out for you personally in your connection, you can book a reading with me over at kmoonastro.com. The reading calendar is open, and I'd be honored to book a reading with you sometime in November. Let's look at what's going on for the divine masculine during this passageway. It's still a slightly different journey, even though they are coming closer and closer to being on the same page and being inside union energies. We've got the divine masculine here at 19 degrees Capricorn. For a small portion of divine masculine energies, we've got this sextile energy to Venus. For a small portion, this can mean either the arriving or the passing through of a soulmate energy or someone who's here to help assist with divine masculine healing, which is a wonderful gift and a wonderful opportunity with Venus sextiling the divine masculine for the short period of time. This is also a period of time of faith being restored for divine masculine energies here, with Jupiter and Neptune being in sextile to one another. They've been in sextile for a lot of the year, but with sextiling energy, there is an energy of if I know if I work for it, it can come to fruition, because Capricorn is the sign of working for it. It's our work ethic. Pisces is the sign, and Neptune is the planet that represent our faith and our capacity to connect with the unseen world. During this year, it's been a very stripping year for divine masculine energies, as things that you've laid your hand to that have been extremely important to you, part of your identity and ego structure here on planet Earth, excuse me, have been stripped away, while the divine masculine danced with the Lord of the underworld and bringer of destruction, the afterlife, and the rebirth cycle, that's Pluto, and danced with the Lord of integrity, that's Saturn, who only wants that which allows us to be whole, to be that which exists in our lives. And if it hasn't allowed you to be whole, Saturn's been pushing it out of your life, and Pluto has been actively in the process of trying to lay waste to it. Painful processes, especially as many of the things that our masculine energies have laid our hand to and tried to create on planet Earth, are things that are part of the integral structure of our lives and sitting in Capricorn. Homes, investments, family structures, businesses, jobs, careers. Many of these things are the things that have been stripped away from the divine masculine's life to make way for a life that is more congruent with the truth of his divinity. And that's coming. This is a short moment of respite as the divine masculine begins its last dance with Pluto, which will occur on November 11th, 2020, 11/11. That last dance with Pluto is the last of 3 meetups with Pluto. The first one was in March, the second one the end of June. This final one will be on 11/11. And from there forward, we are in a new era for our divine masculine energies. However, this final dance is asking us to please, please, that which doesn't serve, allow the universe to continue to take it and remove it while you step into that which is a reflection of whom you really are. There's also an energy at this time of Jupiter, divine masculine, being in a tight square here with Mars. Mars represents the base masculine energy, the earthly masculine energy, With Mars sitting there at 20 degrees Aries, also sitting with Eris energy we talked about. It's all about the places where we feel disenfranchised, excluded, and we're willing to create chaos and discord and strife in order to get what we need. This conjunction of Eris and Mars squaring Jupiter for the rest of the year is helping you as divine masculine energy understand who you really are as a man, as a masculine energy. It's helping you understand this by clarifying exactly who you are not, who you've never been, and who you cannot pretend to be even if you want to. It's a very clarifying time for our masculine energies about what they can and what they cannot do. There's a real need to lean into the energy of the serenity prayer at this time, both for the divine masculine and divine feminine. God help me to change the things I can, let go of the things I can't, and give me the wisdom to know the difference. It goes something like that. You can certainly look it up, but that's the idea here. There is a powerlessness confronting both twins at this time about the things that are of the past for the divine feminine that she simply cannot change. The wound is there. Ignoring it isn't going to make it go away, but we can lean into it. We can heal it. We can reparent it. For the divine masculine, there's a type of life that you were living that is just not real for you anymore. This is a period of time of coming to terms and coming to peace with that's not who you are. It's not who you're going to be. Let it go. The power, coming to terms with where we do not have power, is part of the way we access our true power and use the power within us to cultivate and create that which really can last and is a reflection of who we truly are in our core. So the last energy here for divine masculine, and that's helping you and assisting you with that Mars Eris conjunction and the square opposition to this new moon. So we've got what we call a T-square here in astrology. T-squares are energies that can have us feel completely stuck, completely pulled in different directions because we've got a 90-degree angle here and a 90-degree angle here. And here you are stuck in the middle. The way to use T-square energy is to include the sign that's conspicuous in its omission. And in this case, that's Cancer. Cancer represents our heart, our emotions, the way we actually feel about things. By including the truth of your actual feelings, coming to peace, coming to terms with, accepting your feelings about what is divine masculine energies. By doing that, that's where you get to access that power for transformation and change. Because there are some things in your true feeling nature that maybe you feel guilty about letting go, but quite ready to let go at the same time. Maybe you feel guilty because it's letting certain people down, but you feel ready because it's aligned with you. This type of energy of allowing yourself to deepen into the true feelings of your heart is what's going to allow, when this new cycle occurs on the solstice, it's going to allow you to step into a quantum leap forward in your life and start to manifest the desires of your heart in real and true congruent ways. But the only way to get to the desires of your heart is to face the fears of your heart, to face the true emotions of your heart. In order to have all of it, you've got to be willing to face all of it. So if you'd like to have a look, divine masculine energies, at how this is playing out for you in your life and your chart, head on over to kmoonastro.com and we can book a reading for you. I'm super honored and excited to share that the calendar for November is open. There are a few more spots left before the United States Thanksgiving holiday. It'd be my honor to read for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please hit subscribe if you're finding this content resonates for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take great care and bye for now.